You know that moment when you're trying to get help from someone, but they keep giving you answers that miss the point completely? Maybe it's asking your mom where something is, and she tells you to look harder, or asking a teacher for help and getting a lecture instead of the actual answer you need. Well, here's something that might surprise you. The same thing happens when you talk to AI. And learning how to ask the right questions, what we call prompt engineering, isn't just some tech skill. It's becoming one of the most valuable abilities you can develop for your future. Let me tell you about something that happened to me recently. I was helping a friend's daughter with her college application essay. She'd been struggling with it for weeks, getting frustrated, feeling stuck, so I suggested she try using ChatGPT for some help. Her first attempt went something like this: write me a college essay about leadership. What came back was generic, boring, something that could have been written by anyone about anything. She was ready to give up, convinced that AI was useless. But then I showed her something different. We tried, I'm a 17-year-old who started a small business selling handmade jewelry at local farmers markets. I learned that real leadership isn't about being the loudest person in the room, but about listening to what people actually want and adapting. Can you help me structure an essay that shows this through specific moments from my business experience, focusing on one particular Saturday when everything went wrong but taught me the most? The difference was night and day. Suddenly, the AI understood her story, her voice, her unique perspective. It wasn't writing her essay for her, it was helping her organize her own thoughts and experiences in a compelling way. That's when it hit me. Prompt engineering isn't really about technology. It's about clarity of thought. It's about knowing yourself well enough to communicate what you actually need. And those are skills that will serve you whether you're talking to an AI, interviewing for a job, asking someone on a date, or trying to solve any problem in your life. Think about it this way. Every time you interact with AI, you're essentially being a detective. You have a mystery to solve. Maybe it's understanding a concept for homework, getting ideas for a creative project, or figuring out how to approach a difficult conversation with a friend. But here's the thing about being a good detective. You can't just walk up to a witness and say, "Tell me everything." You need to ask the right questions in the right way to get the information that actually helps you. The same principles apply to AI. The quality of what you get out is directly related to the quality of what you put in. But most people treat AI like a magic 8-ball. They shake it, ask a vague question, and hope for the best. That's not how you unlock its real potential. Let me share with you what I call the CLEAR framework. It's how I think about crafting prompts that actually work. C is for context. Always start by giving the AI the background it needs. Instead of asking, "How do I write a good resume?" try, "I'm a high school junior with experience in retail and volunteer work at an animal shelter. I'm applying for summer internships in marketing. How should I structure my resume to highlight transferable skills?" L is for length and level. Be specific about what you want. Do you need a quick summary or a detailed explanation? Are you a beginner or do you already know the basics? Explain quantum physics will get you a textbook. Explain quantum physics to someone who's good at math but has never studied physics in about 200 words will get you something useful. E is for examples. If you want the AI to match a certain style or format, show it what you mean. Write this in a conversational tone like you're explaining it to a friend is much clearer than make it casual. A is for action. What do you actually want to do with this information? Help me understand photosynthesis for my biology test tomorrow is different from help me understand photosynthesis so I can explain it to middle school students I'm tutoring. R is for refinement. This might be the most important part. Your first prompt is just the beginning of a conversation. If the response isn't quite right, don't start over. Build on it. That's helpful, but can you focus more on, or I like this part, but can you explain this section differently? Here's what's really interesting about this framework. When you start applying these principles to how you communicate with AI, something unexpected happens. You start communicating better with humans, too. You become clearer about what you actually need. You get better at providing context when you ask for help. You learn to be more specific about your goals. I've seen this happen with students I work with. They start out frustrated that AI isn't reading their minds, but as they learn to be more intentional with their prompts, they become more intentional with their thinking. They start asking better questions in class. They have more productive conversations with their parents. They become better at advocating for themselves. And here's why this matters for your future. We're living through a fundamental shift in how work gets done. AI isn't going to replace human creativity, critical thinking, or emotional intelligence, but it's going to amplify the people who know how to work with it effectively. The students who master prompt engineering aren't just learning to use a tool, they're developing a competitive advantage. Think about any field you might be interested in. Marketing? The people who can craft prompts that generate compelling, on-brand content will have an edge. Writing? Authors who can use AI to brainstorm, research, and refine their ideas will be more productive. Science. Researchers who can effectively communicate with AI to analyze data or generate hypotheses will accelerate their discoveries. But it goes deeper than just professional advantages. In a world where AI is becoming ubiquitous, the people who understand how to direct it, how to ask it the right questions, how to validate its responses, those people will have more agency over their own lives. They won't be passive consumers of whatever AI happens to generate. They'll be active directors of AI as a tool for their own goals. I want you to think about something. Right now, you probably Google things dozens of times a day. Most people have gotten pretty good at crafting Google searches. They know to put quotes around exact phrases, to exclude certain words with a minus sign, to search within specific sites. Those weren't skills people were born with. They developed them because they realized that better search queries led to better results. Prompt engineering is the same thing, but for a much more powerful tool. And just like search skills, the people who develop them early will have a significant advantage over those who don't. So here's what I want you to do. Start treating every interaction with AI as practice. Whether you're using it for homework help, creative projects, or just satisfying your curiosity, approach it with intention. Before you type your prompt, pause and think. What context does the AI need? What exactly am I trying to accomplish? How can I be more specific? Don't just ask, help me with my math homework. Try, I'm working on quadratic equations and I understand the basic formula, but I'm struggling with word problems where I need to set up the equation myself. Can you walk me through a few examples, explaining your thought process for translating the word problem into mathematical terms? Don't just ask, give me ideas for my art project. Try, I need to create a visual art piece that explores the theme of identity for my high school portfolio. I'm drawn to mixed media and have access to photography, painting supplies, and basic digital tools. Can you suggest some conceptual approaches that would allow me to combine these mediums meaningfully? The difference isn't just in the quality of responses you'll get, though that will improve dramatically. The difference is in the quality of thinking you'll develop. You'll become someone who approaches problems with clarity, who can articulate their needs effectively, who knows how to break down complex challenges into manageable parts. These are the skills that will serve you in college, in your career, in your relationships, in every area of your life. Because ultimately, prompt engineering isn't about technology. It's about communication. It's about critical thinking. It's about knowing how to ask for help in a way that actually gets you help. And in a world that's changing as rapidly as ours, those might be the most valuable skills of all. The future belongs to the people who can think clearly, communicate effectively, and adapt quickly to new tools and possibilities. Learning to work with AI isn't just about keeping up with technology. It's about developing the mindset and skills that will help you thrive in whatever world you're building. So start now. Start small, but start intentionally. Your future self will thank you.